Hello students. Today we'll start with chapter 7, that is life processes. Topics which we are going to cover are introduction, what are life processes, nutrition, modes of nutrition, nutrition in plants and nutrition in simple organisms. How to decide whether something is alive or not? The most important criterion to decide whether something is alive or not is movement. As you can see, an athlete running, a bird flying, and a frog skipping. All these are showing movements, hence they are living. Plants also show slow movements, so they are also living. Other characteristics of living things are they can move by themselves, they need food, air, and water, they can grow, they can respond to stimuli, they can undergo respiration, they can remove waste, they can undergo reproduction. Now, what do you mean by life processes? Life processes are the basic functions performed by all living organisms to maintain their life on this earth. How can we maintain all these life processes so that they will function properly? Sort of fuel. So, energy is needed for maintenance, and energy comes from the food that particular organism eats. Now, let us get basic introduction for life processes. Nutrition, intake and utilization of food by an organism. Respiration, liberation of energy from that food. Transportation, process of moving digested food and other materials to the various parts of body. And excretion, removal of waste from the body. Let us start with the first life process, that is nutrition. A process of intake of nutrients, example carbs, fats, proteins, minerals, vitamins, water, and utilization of those nutrients is known as nutrition. Modes of nutrition, two modes. First is autotrophic, second is heterotrophic, and it is further divided into saprophytic, parasitic, holozoic. First, autotrophic nutrition. Autotrophs, an organism makes its own food from the simple inorganic material like carbon dioxide and water. Such organisms are known as autotrophs, example, green plants and certain bacteria. This type of nutrition is known as autotrophic nutrition. Photosynthesis. What happens in photosynthesis? You can see the green leaves, and the sun rays are coming to the green leaves, and it forms the food. So basically, carbon dioxide plus water gives carbohydrates in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. That is the process of photosynthesis. We'll see that in detail later on. Carbohydrates provides energy to organisms. In plants, it stores extra carbohydrates in form of starch, whereas in animals, it stores extra carbohydrate in form of glycogen. Remember these two terms. Heterotrophic nutrition. An organism cannot make its own food. Such organisms are known as heterotrophs, and this type of nutrition is known as heterotrophic nutrition. Types. First, saprotrophic or saprophytic nutrition. An organism obtains food from decaying organic matter of dead plants, dead animals, and rotten bread. Example, mostly fungi, yeast, mushroom. They are going to decay the organic matter, such as like these, as you can see in the figure. Here, they are going to break down complex organic matter into simpler substances outside their body and then absorb it. During this time, they will release certain carbon and nitrogen, which are going to get absorbed back into the soil. Next, parasitic nutrition. Here, an organism derives its food from the body of another living organism without killing it. Example, roundworm, Plasmodium. The organism which obtains food is known as parasite, and the organism from whose body food is obtained is known as host. Example, humans. Holozoic nutrition. Here, the organism takes the food inside body and breaks it down and then gets absorbed by the cells of body. Example, all animals including humans. Remember the difference between all these three types of nutrition. So now, let us move on to nutrition in plants. It occurs through photosynthesis. Let us recall it. When 6 molecules of CO2 reacts with 12 molecules of H2O in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll from green leaves of plant, it gets converted into glucose, that is C6H12O6 plus 6 molecules of water and 6 molecules of O2 is released in the air. Carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll gets converted into glucose and oxygen is released. What is the mechanism? First of all, absorption of sunlight by chlorophyll. Second, conversion of light energy into chemical energy and splitting of water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen. Third, reduction of carbon dioxide in glucose, that is carbohydrate. Now, let us see nutrition in simple organisms as for example amoeba and paramecium. First, this is amoeba. Let us see two GIFs. Here, first you can see that finger-like projections are arising. These are known as pseudopodia. And in second, they are engulfing the food and forming the food vacuole. Here, they are engulfing paramecium. So, amoeba can engulf paramecium. Now, detailed steps. Amoeba ingest food particle by forming temporary finger-like projections called pseudopodia, which fuse over the food particle forming food vacuole. Next, digestion. Inside the food vacuole, enzymes break them down into small molecules. Absorption. Digestion occurs in cytoplasm and digested food is absorbed in cytoplasm. Egestion. Undigested food is moved to the surface and thrown outside. Now, I hope it's simple and it's easy for you to understand as you have seen GIFs. Let us move on to paramecium. This cell has a definite shape and food is taken at definite spot. Food is moved to this spot by the movement of cilia, which is present on entire surface of cell as you can observe in the figure. That's all for today. Coming up next, nutrition in human beings. Please make sure to like, subscribe and share our videos. Suggestions and comments are most welcome. Your doubts can be cleared in the comment section. Thank you.